What are the early signs of pregnancy? How do I know that I am pregnant? If these questions are going through your mind, either for yourself or for someone else, then you need to watch this video till the end. You're welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Now, in today's video, I'll be telling you 17 signs of pregnancy. How to know that you are pregnant. The early signs of pregnancy. Now, let's talk about pregnancy. So, pregnancy officially starts when a fertilized egg implants in the lining of the uterus. Now, let me explain it. Now, when you have unprotected sex, depending on the time of your cycle, if you are ovulating and there's a release of an egg from the ovary, the sperm swims to the egg, to the fallopian tube, meets an egg, and there's fertilization. And when fertilization occurs, a zygote is formed. At this point, you are said to be pregnant. Now, let's talk about implantation. So, implantation is a process in which the developing embryo makes contact with the uterine wall and remains attached until birth. Implantation occurs 6 to 12 days after ovulation. So the exact date of implantation depends on when you ovulated and whether conception occurred early or late in the ovulation window. You start to experience symptoms of pregnancy as soon as implantation takes place. The hormone responsible for these early pregnancy symptoms is called HCG, which is human chorionic gonadotrophin. This is the hormone responsible for early pregnancy symptoms. So I'll be telling you the 17 signs of pregnancy you should look out for. Early signs of pregnancy. If you experience 5 or 6 or even 4 or 5 of these symptoms, please carry out a home pregnancy test. And of course, see your healthcare provider. The first early signs of pregnancy, I want you to note that some women may not experience these signs I'm about to mention, but they still test positive to pregnancy. Some women might be menstruating while they are pregnant. I've seen some people like that. They are pregnant, but they are still menstruating. We'll get to that anyway. So the first early sign of pregnancy you will notice is implantation bleeding, or popularly known as spotting. Now, this happens when the fertilized egg, called an embryo, attaches to the wall of the uterus. It may attach close to the blood vessels. It penetrates the blood vessels, and when this happens, there will be escape of blood. Now, this blood comes out of the vagina as spotting. The question now is, how can I differentiate between spotting and my regular menses, my regular period? So women are confused. How do I know if I'm menstruating or I'm spotting? Number one, timing. Now, if you are spotting between 6 to 12 days after ovulation, you are most likely spotting. Number two, the quantity. Is it light? Now, spotting is usually a light bleeding that won't require you using a tampon or a sanitary pad. Okay, so it's usually smaller than your regular period. Another thing is color. It's usually not the same color with your period. It's usually pinkish. It can be pinkish, brownish, or even come out with your normal vaginal discharge with a tinge of blood. So the second sign of pregnancy, early pregnancy, is cramps. Now, this is different from menstrual cramps. It's usually milder and doesn't last for long. The third sign of pregnancy, early pregnancy, is missed period. Now, this is very common, okay? Most women, when they miss their period, it's usually a strong indication that they are pregnant. Now, some women might be pregnant and they are still menstruating. It happens to some women. Also, you can miss your period as a result of stress or hormonal imbalance. Okay, the fourth sign of pregnancy is nausea and vomiting. This is what we usually see in most Nollywood movies, nausea and vomiting. So you feel nauseated, you feel like vomiting, or you even vomit. We call it early morning sickness. Now, the fifth sign of pregnancy is tender and swollen breast. Now, your breast feels very tender. For some women, you touch the breast, it appears bigger, it appears swollen. Some people, they have this soreness around the breast. Now, the sixth sign is bloating. Bloating is a feeling of fullness. The seventh sign is fatigue. You are easily tired. You can't even walk, a particular distance that you usually walk before pregnancy. The eighth sign is breast and nipple changes. Now, you notice that for some women, around their areola, it looks darker. It begins to appear darker or lighter, okay? Sometimes depending on your complexion. Some of these changes that's happening to the breast and the nipple is just to prepare the breast, the nipples for the baby that is coming. Now, the ninth sign of pregnancy is high blood pressure or low blood pressure. Now, for some women, when they are pregnant, their blood pressure goes up. We call this pregnancy-induced hypertension. It happens to some women. For some women, it's low blood pressure. We call this pregnancy-induced hypotension. Now, this was actually my case. Whenever I'm pregnant, for my two babies, I experienced pregnancy-induced hypotension. Now, I notice that my blood pressure usually drops. Now, this is peculiar to different people. Now, the 10th sign of pregnancy is heartburn. Some women have this chest burn, heartburn that will be relieved with antacid medications called antacid. Now, the 11th sign of pregnancy is food aversion or cravings. Okay, the next minute they are telling their spouse, I want to eat oha soup, I want to eat rice, and then they get rice for them. The next minute they say, no, I don't want rice, I want beans. They have this food aversion, they have this food cravings. Now, the 12th sign is pregnancy glow. Now, this pregnancy glow differs from person to person. Some people look extremely beautiful when they are pregnant. They look very different. They look beautiful. Some people look, I won't say ugly. I won't use the word ugly because I was very ugly. I had a lot of changes in my body, very ugly. So the 13th sign of pregnancy is faster heartbeat. For some people, their heart beats faster. Their heart rate goes up. Their heart beats faster when they are pregnant. Another sign is pimples and acne. Some persons experience pimples, acne. The 15th sign is weight gain or loss. In my own case, it was weight gain. For some women, when they become pregnant, they begin to emaciate. They begin to lose weight rapidly for some persons. Now, the 16th sign is mood swings. They are happy this moment. The next minute, they are irritated. They become aggressive. That is what we call mood swings. The 17th sign and the last sign is frequency of urination. Okay, so because at this point, the growing uterus, the uterus is also present, has a relationship with the bladder. A lot of women at this point, they begin to urinate frequently. So these are the 17 signs of pregnancy. I will see you in my next video.